Welcome. Wow, this is cool. We have a lot of people in the first class. So welcome everybody. If you're brand new here, you're in the right place. We are on class number 1, obviously. So we actually have, I think, around 20 to 30 people in right now. We will have more in the near future. I'll explain how all this works. And we're going to have a replay and everything. So if you have to leave at any point, don't worry. You're not going to miss anything. We'll still have this afterwards. And you're automatically muted just for the sake of making sure that we don't have people coming in and immediately start talking. And then, we can't hear anything, because sometimes that's how Zoom works, where somebody will come in, they're not muted. They're talking to their wife or something, and it's all crazy. So right now, if you have any questions, we're going to be the way we're going to have this work is we're going to have sort of the class at the beginning, 30 to 40 minutes. And then at the end, we'll open it up for questions. And then all you have to do is you can either type your question in the chat, talk in the chat. You can also raise your hand. There should be a little raise your hand button on Zoom. If you can see it, click on it, just so I don't know if you guys can use it or not, but just click on it. And that's how we can call on you, unmute you. And that's how we can stay organized, because otherwise it might get pretty unorganized. But lots of faces in here. I really appreciate you all for being here. I'm super excited. We're going to have Ryan teach in a second. Ryan's here to basically start with class number 1. We're going to have a homework assignment at the end. We're going to have a certification at the end of this course as well. It's like a test that we're going to put you through. And if you pass it, we're basically going to certify you, and you'll have a little certificate you can put wherever you want on your website, anywhere. Obviously, the idea with this program is that we're going to help you not only get your first leads, but help you make some money selling services or doing affiliate. We're going to be kind of covering a little bit of both. And so right now we have a couple classes lined up. We have Ryan teaching Tuesdays and Thursdays, and he's going to be covering using bots to generate leads, everything you need to do in order to basically reach out to websites and get people responding to you and interested in your services. And then on Wednesdays, we have another guy coming in. His name's Cotton Grammar, and he's going to be talking about selling services and what kind of services you should be doing and how to fulfill those services, whether you want to do them yourself or go with a white label type environment if you want to outsource what you're doing. But my goal is to get around 3 to 5 people or 3 to 5 classes per week that you can join. And if you want to join them, great. If you don't want to join them, watch the replays, great as well. Again, this is an 8-week thing. We're going to have lots of classes. And again, my biggest goal is that you're going to be able to be successful with the stuff that we're teaching. So if you're excited and you can see the chat and everything, please just give me a 1 in the chat or a yes in the chat. Again, this isn't going to be like a webinar where you're just in the chat. My goal is that everybody can be involved if they want to talk, if you want to say anything. Again, just raise your hand or type in chat, unmute me. I have a question, and we will answer your questions as we go. But just to keep everything organized, please wait till the end. We'll do about 20 to 30 minutes talking. Ryan will be talking, and then maybe 30 to 40 minutes. We'll open it up for questions. You can ask whatever you want. Okay. So sound good to you guys? We all good? Ryan, are you good? Oh, I think you're muted still, Ryan.
Yep, I'm good.
Cool. All right, I'm going to open it up for Ryan. And again, if you guys aren't familiar with who Ryan is the brains behind the bots. So he's been doing this stuff for, over 10 years now. He has a YouTube channel. I originally reached out to Ryan a couple years ago because I was watching all of his tutorials, and I was like, oh my God, this guy's a genius. He's finding all these websites in bulk. He's outreaching to them. He's able to figure out, tons of ways to generate these leads. And so because I knew that Ryan was the most cutting edge at this stuff, I reached out to him. I said, how much money can I give you to learn what you know? And so I started working with Ryan, and he's been honestly really helping me not just learn how to do this stuff, but actually we're generating tons of leads right now. In fact, we're generating so many leads that we're actually going to be giving some of them away as well. And we'll talk about that later. But the method really works. What we're doing is no joke. How long it's going to work? A lot of people ask us this all the time. How long is this going to work? We're going to run it as long as we can. Again, Ryan's been doing this for a long time. And Ryan, you can talk about the longevity of this what we're doing here. But the two main things we're going to be talking about, the first thing we're going to be talking about is getting clients, generating leads. And we're going to also be talking about using these tools for other things as well, like building an audience, building a following. If you want to start doing some sort of affiliate, promoting other products, we'll be talking about that. So anyways, I'm going to stop talking. I'll let you go, Ryan.
Awesome. Well, welcome everybody. And like Chase said, my name is Ryan Borden. And I just want to kind of give you an overview of what this is, because I know some of you really have an idea already of what's going on here. And some of you are like, I'm not really sure what we're talking about here. I just want in. So basically, let me get my screen up here and let me share my screen so you can see what's going on here. And so what we're looking to do basically is utilize contact forms to reach out to people. And so you can kind of think about this as like an email, right? So when we go to contact form, this is Chase Reiner's website, and we just clicked on contact and we have a contact form here. Then we can enter our name and put in like Ryan Borden, right? And then Ryan Borden at whatever, right? .com, right? And then we're going to have a message. So maybe something like this. I've got something to buy, please buy it, right? So the concept here is, if anybody's ever done email marketing or ads or anything else, everything has its challenges, right? If you go on ads, you got to figure out how to do it, and you can lose a bunch of money at the same time. If you go on sending emails, it's hard to get them into the inbox. If you do any kind of marketing, right, if you do it through the post office, that's just its own nightmare. The beautiful thing about contact forms is that it just comes in, and business owners already want to read their contact forms because that's how they get customers. So when they get a customer from the contact form, it's usually a very good, valuable customer, and they really pay a lot of attention to this. And so they have it set up so that they can get it straight to the inbox and pay a lot of attention to it. So you get to skip all the issues that you have with email marketing and get them a higher inbox rate, because this is going to come up in their email box. And you also get to skip, obviously, any kind of ad spend or that sort of stuff. This is pennies on the dollar for any kind of comparison to post office, comparison to basically anything. So if we send this message, basically what happened is it would show up in their email and it'd be something like this. And obviously I just typed it out here in an email, and then they can click a link, right? You have a call to action. And so call to action could be reply to me. Call to action could be to call you, to text you. Call to action could be to go to a landing page, right? And sign up for a lead magnet or buy something or whatever you want to do. So there's a lot of options there. And so I've been doing this since 2015 on actual contact forms at scale. I messed with it before that, but there wasn't really great tools in the marketplace to make it happen. And even now, some of the tools can be improved on. Like we're building one that makes it so much easier to do, because it's a little complex, but that's a ways off. So we're going to utilize the tools that are available now so you can start making money right now. So basically, what we're doing is sending a message and asking them to buy or to take some sort of action. And we're going to do that with a list of different tools here. Basically one tool. So this is GSA Website Contact. This is the software that we need to have to make everything work. And I will show you how to set it all up here.
Can I ask a question really quick too, Ryan? Just because I know there's a lot of people that are new here. If somebody were to start out doing this, like the most manual way possible, what would be the way that they would start?
Yeah, so basically you would just go to Google and search up your businesses, right? So everybody knows how to use Google. You get a list of businesses, and then you're going to go to each business website, which this is Chase's website, for example. We go here and we're going to look for an actual contact form, right? So here's a contact methodology, right? Now we can send Chase an email, or we can click on the contact form. If I send him an email and I want to type it out, literally type everything out, that'll work, but it's going to take forever because you're going to go through there. Also, we can click on the contact form here and we can see that we can enter information here, and then it's going to show up in Chase's box as well, which is probably the same email address. But again, this is going to take forever. Now you can go ahead and put your message in like Notepad like this, and you can go to 100 websites and you can copy and paste. And that's okay, but if you just copy and pasting, you're no better than a bot anyways. So it's not a very valuable use of your time. You could go on the website and find specific information, like find someone's name and try to customize the message. And that would probably get you a little bit better chance of reaching out to this person. But in any marketing, there's only about 3% of people that already have an awareness of a need for something. So you got to send 100 messages to probably reach 3 people if they're paying attention. Now, it could vary some, but that's a pretty low, like, I don't know, if you could do this one a minute, that's going to take you an hour and a half or more to send 100 messages. And in an hour and a half, you might get 3 responses or 2. And out of those 2, then you've got to try to get them to be interested in what you want, to be able to afford what you want, because a lot of times businesses that have the money don't have the time. And so you're going to get overlooked, and the people with lots of time might not have the money to buy what you're offering anyways. And so everything has to be in alignment. So you could spend all day and you might get 1 lead or 1 sale, and that's fine. Especially if you have a high ticket thing, if that's what you want to do. But we can use a bot like this and click a button, and literally while we're having this class, I can contact thousands of people, right?
So
and then
let me ask you a question, Ryan. So why would we send messages through a contact form instead of, let's say, sending out thousands of emails to, different websites? Why are contact forms better?
Well, technically they're sending the email. So in that way, they're similar, but they're better because when you send contact forms, you don't have to worry about it going to the spam filter as often. So once in a while, it's going to hit the spam filter anyways, because some people just have ridiculously aggressive spam filters. But when you send a typical email like bulk email, you have a ridiculously low open rates because all of that gets filtered. But with a contact form, typically businesses not only look for that, because it'll usually have, most contact forms when it comes to a business, in the subject line, it'll have something that says like, customer contact : and then it'll put in the subject of, if they have a subject box, whatever, the response from the website. And so businesses specifically look for that. Some businesses are even going to have a separate dedicated email box just for that they're looking at and paying attention. So you get a higher chance of visibility, you get a higher percentage of attention. And the attention is everything. It's just everything in marketing. And if I'm going into looking for a customer response, then I'm paying attention. If I'm reading my email box, like when I read my email box, like I just scan all of the from lines and I pick like the 1 or 2 people that I want. And then I look at the subject, and then I might open it, I might not. And then I'm done, because you get how many people get junk? Like I get.
Okay, so does this make sense to everyone here? What we're doing is we're going to be using basically contact forms to send messages to websites so we can let them know about our offers. Now, the reason why this is better and more untapped than something like email marketing is because contact forms have better deliverability. So with emails, a lot of the time you're hitting like the spam inbox, you're hitting the promotions inbox, you have to warm up the email accounts. It's very difficult to get a hold of these website owners. Whereas when we're sending messages with contact forms, we're going basically straight into their inbox. And so this is something that a lot of people haven't really been able to figure out yet. It's kind of an untapped thing. And what we're going to be showing you how to do is not how to send messages one at a time, because that would take forever, but how to use bots and automation to basically send out messages, thousands, if not millions. We're going to show you how we're sending out millions of these messages every single day. Does that sound like a good plan for you guys? Give me a yes or a 1. Just want to make sure everybody's on the same page here. Okay, sorry, Ryan. I just wanted to recap to make sure everybody's on the same page.
No, I appreciate that. I get excited because I get into this and I'm ready to go, and I forget to kind of slow it down and make sure.
Now, I do want to mention, though, that if you don't want to invest in the tools, if you don't want to invest in bots, you can do this manually. It will just take a very long time. Okay, you could go to 10 websites and use copy and paste, and it would probably take you 5 minutes. But if you want to send out millions of messages, imagine how long that would take. It would be nearly impossible, right? Even if you had a whole team doing this. And so we are going to be showing you the bots that we use. We're going to show you the things that we're investing in. We're going to show you the lowest cost way possible. Look, we don't even own these tools. We're building our own tools right now, but we're showing you the easiest way we know of how to do this. But it's completely up to you on whether or not you want to do it the free route, which is doing it manually like this, or if you want to buy some of the tools. But again, we're going to show you how to do it the cheapest way possible. And if you want to scale the system and do, a lot more, then you can put a little bit more money in. But you're not going to be spending thousands of dollars per month to do this. And ideally, you're going to start with something small. And as you start to make money, then you can put more money into things like proxies and all the other stuff that we're going to be talking about. But don't worry about any of the technical stuff until we get there. Right now, we're just talking about sending a message through a contact form. Okay.
Yeah. And so you can see here, let me show you. This one right here was a campaign I was running. We were testing, giving away some leads here in the group to different people. And so this one sent 237,000 contact forms. I clicked start and it sent it. And then the leads just come in and they look like this. And so you can bring them in different ways. We brought them in through Skype as telephone calls or text messages and that sort of stuff. And so you can see all these leads here that are just coming in. And so some people are just ready to go. Like, so this one's like interested, ready to go. And then they said they got their email. Obviously they're skeptical. Anyone reaches out because we're offering to do something for free for them, but they're very curious. And so here's the thing, even when if you send cold email, it comes off as it's an email and they're like, what's going on? But when it comes to a contact form and they read it, they may even be skeptical, but they're still engaging and they're still ready to go. So you get past a lot of the challenges that you run into, which, I mean, any of you guys that have done leads or sales, you know that step one is you have to get a lead. Then you have to sell them on it. And so the goal here with contact forms and the whole process is to turn it into more of an order taking situation than it is into a sales situation. And obviously you have to send some emails and you ask them if they want to buy and that sort of stuff. But, you know, this just makes it easy. And
well,
so,
and I want to mention too, guys, how cool is this? Look at this. This is a brand new Skype account that Ryan and I created. I think, was it yesterday, Ryan, or 2 days ago?
2 days
and
ago.
Already since, Sunday, we already have a ton of leads with very, very little work. And this is a brand new account. We have another account too that we were sending leads to. This was just one that we pivoted to. So we already discovered the messaging that you have to send. We already set up. We even have a guy that's going and proving the method by booking these appointments with people as well. We have a full script for you so you know what to say. We're going to take you all the way from not having a single lead in your inbox, right, to knowing exactly what you have to do to get a client. I mean, how cool is that? I mean, we really have cracked the code here. And I really want you guys to see the power of this, because this is no joke. Like, we're not messing around here. We actually discovered, like, you can see this in real time. These are, tons of leads. If you were to pay for these, it would be a lot of money. So I hope you guys are excited about this.
Yeah, I mean, this is crazy too, because so these leads are based on services. So once we sell them a service, then it's just going to bill every month. And like this person, we offered to give away stuff for free, and they already like, what's your pricing for doing work? They're already ready to go. And I can't really say. So in the past 12 years with working with bots and AI and working with online since like the late 90s, to me, there's never been a better time to be in the online space. Yes, there were some easy things and different things in SEO in the past, but I don't know what's going to happen in the world. They say the media has accurately predicted 27 of the last 2 recessions, right? And so the truth is that there could be a recession coming, and there's going to be a lot of people out of work, and you can sit at home and you can do this, or your office, or wherever you want, or on the side, and you can get leads and sales and make money. It's just so easy. And I'm going to show you when it goes in here. So like, let me just show you how simple this is. So we saw here, if we want to type this out and hit send, right, that'll go to the contact form and we sent 1. Then if I go to the next website, I've sent 2 and then 3, and we can spend an hour and a half and we can do that. If I want to do it in an automated way, once I set it up, I just set up my subject and my message here, and you can ignore everything else because I'll go through that. But basically we're just going to hit send, and then we're going to hit no here. It's going to take a second to prep. We've got our message here that says like, hey, I noticed you had a few issues with your website, and I want to volunteer to fix them for you. Give me a call or a text. And that phone number you saw there, it goes to the Skype message. So you can see already, since I hit start, we sent 5, 7, now we're at 8, now we're at 10 messages, and it's been like 8 seconds. And so this can just run while you sleep. It can run while you eat, while you go do other things. I mean, I run this 24/7. I have different servers, and obviously I run it at scale. You guys don't have to go that big, but I'm working in sending 1 million messages a day per server that I have, because I have all kinds of different campaigns and clients and different things going on. And you can sell services, you can sell affiliate products, you can sell your own products. And we're going to show you here as we get through this as well, if you don't have your own products, and maybe just go ahead and people put in chat right now, if you know what you want to sell, tell me. So somebody said affiliate, put in there, do you want to sell, like, what do you want to sell, right? Because this will help me to make sure that I'm giving you the right information, because the approaches are a little different. I'm going to cover all of it as we go through the course, but it would be nice to know if somebody wants to sell SEO, somebody wants to sell affiliate stuff, people are ready to go. And then we'll give you a list of products and stuff that you can sell as well that are working: online marketing services, local SEO, web design. Okay, so basically people see a little bit of affiliate, but even some of these, the majority want to sell services, it looks like.
Now, I want to make sure too that everybody, what we're looking at here, it looks overwhelming when you first look at it. And I'm going to be honest with you, there is a learning curve with this, but once you understand this, you're going to be able to reach out and pretty much promote whatever you want. You know, if you want to promote a YouTube channel, if you want to promote SEO or website offer, if you want to promote anything. And so it's like email marketing on steroids. And it's such an untapped thing right now that if you can learn this and do this, you're going to be so ahead of most of the people out there that are still using outdated tactics. So don't be overwhelmed though. You know, this is an app. It looks complicated. You know, there's a lot going on. We're going to explain it. And there's going to be some things that might be hard to understand when you first learn them. It took me a while. I had to sit with Ryan for a while and learn this, but if you put in the work, you'll learn this and you're going to be able to be way more efficient at what you're doing online.
Yeah. And so, like Chase said, I'm going to stay here with it. After each lesson, we're going to have a time for question and answers. And in fact, the whole last week is just planned for troubleshooting and question and answers, but you can send emails in the meantime as well. And I fully understand that there's a lot going on here. Like, there just is. But one of the things that I'm really good at, and I think Chase is really good at, is taking things that are a little bit more complex and bringing it down and making it simple and easy to understand. We always have this conversation where we talk about trying to make it so that if we were showing it to our grandma, that our grandma could understand what's going on and market. And honestly, like, you know, I only have one grandma still alive, but she sends emails and does like accounting on the computer. And I think that I could bring it down to her level and that she could honestly understand this. So I know that all of you guys who are way better than that can totally get this. So at the end here, I'm going to give you some homework on this. And basically, it's kind of a list of things that you got to do to get set up. And so I want to kind of go over a little bit of that. But so do we feel like we have a good understanding of the overview of the concept here before I kind of jump into what we need to get started? Let me know, like, if yes, give me some yeses, give me some no. I have no idea what's going on. I got a whole bunch of yeses and stuff people want to sell. Is there anybody who still just feels totally lost? Just let me know. Like, it'll be okay. We got this. I'm going to walk you through it step by step.
One thing I want to mention too, while we're getting the yeses coming in, we're going to leave a link to our group, our Facebook group, and you can actually post questions anonymously. If you end up thinking about something later, feel free to, I'm going to leave it in the chat right now. This is our Facebook group. And first of all, I would really appreciate if you guys said how awesome these classes are, because it helps bring more people in. I want to have a lot more people in here. But second, ask your questions in there. So that way, you know, if we miss anything and you're like, hey, you know, I didn't get that part, or I just didn't feel comfortable saying it in front of everybody else, we'll answer it anonymously for you so you can still get help.
Yeah. So let's go through here. We need a couple of tools to kind of make this work, right? So we need some software. And what I really want you to do, so the point of the homework is not to make you do extra work, because I always hated homework in school. But the point of the homework is to guide you through so that as we go through, you're ready to go. And it's not like, okay, a typical course, you might watch all the videos and then you're like, okay, now I got to start. Like, what do I do? And you're overwhelmed. Like, this is like breaking it down chunk by chunk. So that as we go through the list each week, you're ready to go and you can do the stuff. And right now in week 1, we want to focus on getting everything set up. I saw some people that have servers already set up, but I know that there's some people in here based on the answers that they're still going to need to get through here. So step 1, we're going to need this tool called GSA Website Contact, because it actually sends the contact forms. It automates the whole process of going out, finding the contact forms, and then sending them. Inside of this, we need to utilize, I'm going to start using some terminology here. If it doesn't make sense, stick with me. I'm happy to answer the questions again. So we're going to use some proxies in here, some private proxies. And basically what that does is you kind of, there's nothing, everything here is legal and above board, but whenever you send in bulk, you want to utilize some proxies. So you get a bunch of IP addresses and you spread out all your sending over the IP addresses, because when you send a bunch of stuff to a bunch of servers, sometimes they aggregate that data. And so the IPs help us to spread everything out and look a little bit more normal, like we're doing it manually, right? Because that's the point of the bot. Automate everything that we're normally doing, but we want to look like we're still doing it manually. And so we need some private proxies to do that. Some of these, I don't know if you saw.
Can I break that down too, Ryan? Because I think some people might be intimidated by the word proxy. So basically, the way this works is we want to send messages from other IP addresses, basically. And so what that means is that instead of sending a bunch of messages from, let's say, your computer, we can set something up where when we send messages, it'll send the message from basically other people's internet connections or other people's computers in a sense. So having proxies makes it so that we're not sending, a million messages from our computer and then getting like our internet or our computer basically blacklisted. And so the reason why we want to do this is because, if we're sending out a high volume of messages, we don't want a bunch of people complaining saying, hey, I got all these messages from this person's computer, go and take them off the internet, right? And so that's basically what a proxy does. And we'll show you how to set this up, but I just want to make sure does everybody kind of understand what a proxy is now? It's basically a separate internet connection that you can set up. Yes. Cool.
Yeah, awesome. So we'll do that. There is CAPTCHAs on some contact forms. Chase doesn't have one. I don't typically use them. And in fact, stats say that 50 to 70% of people never use CAPTCHAs. And the CAPTCHAs are a little annoying thing. You got like type your, I don't know, click on a bus or all the annoying things, right? So that's what a CAPTCHA is. And we have CAPTCHA solving, which is another software as well. And let me see if I can pull it up here. And you can see what you're looking at, just so you know when you go to get it, right? And CAPTCHA solving isn't something that I want you to worry about straight away. It's kind of like an add-on layer to improve success, but I do just want to mention it. I'm going to kind of blow past it and see if I can, if the program ever runs here. So we'll pull it up in a minute if it runs. And basically, once we get the CAPTCHA set up, that's kind of, so here's a CAPTCHA error because I had no CAPTCHA solving turned on right now. So that's what I'm talking about there. That's kind of like later on, but we mentioned it. And then, so we need to set up the program and it's loading now. So basically, I'm going to go through here, and as we move on, I'm going to go through all this sort of setup in the different projects and everything that's going on. And let's just stop this here so I can go ahead and show it to you. But in project setup, your biggest thing is we want to determine your call to action, because there's a lot of different things that you can do. You kind of have to have a game plan going in here. So most people said they want to sell services. Some people said they want to sell affiliate stuff. So the different methods you can use that most people use are: one, you can ask them to reply to you an email. That's if you want to sit there and type all day and use, emails. If your form of lead and sale works better for you, you can do that. But I found that to be the most cumbersome. And it finally loaded. So this is just a capture breaking software, so you know what's going on when you see it. And so the second way that you can do it is like we are doing here with Skype, where we're asking them to send us a message on a phone number. And then in Skype here, we can go ahead and SMS text message them back, or we can just use a phone call, right, and call them on the phone. So that's another method. You can actually then also send them to a landing page. And so a landing page obviously is just a website where you're going to bring stuff in. So for example, the one that brought everybody in here, if I could spell, is Fortune Bots. So this is a lander, right? And this is actually called a squeeze page. And I know a lot of you know this already, but there's probably a couple that don't. So I'm going to repeat some stuff here. And the squeeze page just gathers an email address. The point here is to get an email address into our system. It's called a CRM, and the CRM manages all of your contacts. And you can then send emails to those people over and over and over and over and over again and sell them stuff every single day. Because typically you have 7 touches with a person before they actually buy from you. And so that's what's really nice here. And if I go ahead and punch in my email here, then I get redirected to a normal landing page, as you might see, where there's something actually for sale, a bunch of information. And then at some point you get a chance to buy, right? So some of you will have that. If you're selling affiliate products, you're probably going to utilize a landing page. That's going to look something like this. If you are selling services, you don't want to send them to like a home page. If you're selling SEO, you don't want to, and you make a regular web page. Typically, web pages are a lot more like brochures, right? And we're going to talk about that later on, optimizing landing pages for conversions, because something that is a common thing that a lot of people see, as I slightly sidetrack here, is that people talk about making web pages pretty or beautiful or that sort of thing. And that's fine. You want them to be functional and aesthetically pleasing. But at the end of the day, I honestly don't care how beautiful the web page looks. I care about how well it converts. And I have some terrible looking web pages that convert better than the beautiful looking web pages. And so I build them terrible on purpose because it forces the user to take an action. And so I personally care about sales. I don't know what you guys care about, but if you want to do some branding and marketing and that sort of stuff, that's fine. But so those are the methods that you can use. And we want to have a concept here, because if we are utilizing any kind of landing page, whether you're using an affiliate landing page, whether you're using your own landing page or that sort of stuff, you need to purchase a domain name that you're going to use as a redirect. And so
can I talk for a second, Ryan?
Yep.
So basically what Ryan just covered right now is that when you're sending out messages to these websites, you can promote different things, right? So you can have them respond to you by sending you a text. You could say, hey, my name is Chase. I found something wrong with your website. Send me a text, right? So that's one way you can start generating leads. And that's how we're actually generating leads for SEO, for people asking about our SEO services. We're saying, hey, there's something wrong with your website. Send us a text. Now, there's other ways, though, that you can use this tool. You can also send a message saying, hey, I saw something wrong with your website. Click on this link to see what's wrong. And then they have to enter in their website and their email in order to opt in, right? So Ryan, if you go over to chasereiner.com really quick, I'm going to give an example here. So if we go to free website roadmap, we can actually send people to this page where they can enter in their URL and an email, right? And so in some cases, you might want to send people to a page to collect their emails. In some cases, you might just want them to respond to your email and you just respond to them via your inbox. Or maybe you want them to text you. And so what we're saying here is that your possibilities with what you're promoting are endless. And there isn't really a right or wrong way. The right way is the way that gets you the most leads. Now, from an SEO standpoint, if you're selling a service, like an SEO service, we found the best lead is through phone calls or through texts, because when somebody texts us and says, hey, what's wrong with my website? It's very easy to contact them and get them on the phone. However, if they're going to be entering a website and an email, it's a little bit harder to get a hold of them, because that could be anybody entering in any website and any email. And so it's important to think about, what do you want to promote and how do you want to promote it? And so we'll show you what's working for us in the tests that we're running. We're constantly running tests. Ryan and I, that's basically what we're doing behind the scenes with these classes, is we're running real-time tests. We're going to give you our best results, and then you can use those results in those tests to do whatever you want. But again, it doesn't necessarily matter how you promote the thing that you're promoting. It just matters that you find an angle that works well for you. Does that make sense, everybody? Yes, in the chat?
Yeah, and while we get the yeses, someone asked if we've never had done services before, how do we show them examples? Give away free stuff, which is one of the things we're testing right now. If you just roll up to 10 businesses and be like, hey, listen, can I do some stuff for you for free? And in exchange, you give me a testimonial. 9 out of 10 are going to say yes. Go do stuff for them for free, and then you have your proof. And there it is. So you have to leverage a little bit of time, but you get started and away you go. And so once you have something to promote, and we're going kind of back technical here, we need to have a redirect. And I'm going to just go through this at an overview level here. And then we'll, as we get into later on, we're going to break it down. But we need to have a redirect linked because we don't want to put our actual website. So I would never want to put chasereiner.com in an actual message that I send, whether that is a cold email message or whether that is a, contact form or anything, because if you get too much volume out there of sending a domain name, that the email servers look at that and they're like, okay, this is spam. They just arbitrarily assign it as spam. Just unless you're like a big company, you get a rite of passage if you're AT&T, right? So you automatically get a pass. But anybody who's not like in the Fortune 500 doesn't get a pass, and we have to play by different rules. So we create like chasereiner.net or chasereiner.xyz or some great website dot whatever, right? It can be like a $2 domain, it doesn't matter. And we're going to set that up with Cloudflare, which is free. And we're going to utilize the redirect. And what that does for us is that allows us to send a whole bunch of messages and never risk anything getting, like for chasereiner.com, that hitting a spam filter or hitting any kind of thing that limits anything. And you also have to consider dealing with Gmail, because Gmail is connected to Google. So we don't ever want to, I have no proof that would negatively impact your rank on Google, but I'm always kind of OCD to make sure that I don't do anything there. So basically what we're doing is, hiding is the wrong word, but we're spreading everything out, just like with the proxies, where we want to make it look like it's coming from different people's computers because we're doing it in mass. With the website, we want to make it look like traffic is flowing through a different website. And the same thing would be true if you have bringing everybody into a CRM. You don't want to put your CRM link in there. I know a lot of people, and this is a point maybe to not get confused on, when you send out links from a CRM, like if you go to like ConvertKit and you send out a ConvertKit link and you put a link to, where you can sign up here for the free website roadmap, and it's actually even just your audience, ConvertKit makes a redirect link for you, and it actually goes to ConvertKit's domain so they can do tracking, and then it redirects it here. So even your big CRMs, they run everything, and they do it for tracking purposes, but they don't run everything through their primary domain and directly to your domain. And we're doing the same thing. We're going to run it through a redirect, and then we're going to go to where we need to go.
So what Ryan's saying here is that if we're going to be sending out messages to websites, and we're going to be bulk sending messages saying, hey, go to my website to check out my offer, you don't want to send them directly to your website, because you could end up getting your website blacklisted, just like maybe an IP address. But I do think that maybe, Ryan, this might be a little like more down the road. What would be, I guess, their first sort of thing that they'd want to do if, like, if they were in a programming class and they were saying, hello world, what's the first thing that they would do?
Yeah. So this is the first thing you want to do is you got to know that this software runs on Windows only because of how it's written. So if you have a Mac, there are options. If you have Windows, you're good to go. If you want to get a server, which you can connect to from a Mac or from a Windows, like a VPS, you're good to go. But if you have an actual Mac, you could run Windows on like Boot Camp, or you could do Parallels or something like that, or you could do like VirtualBox and install Windows. But the GSA software, and a lot of the other tools that will connect all run on Windows only. They aren't set up for Mac because of the language that they're written in wasn't ready for Mac at the time that these were written, and they've never been converted to a new version because that requires recoding the whole thing. So anyways, here we are. So it's Windows only.
So basically the tool only works on Windows, but if you have a Mac, you can use something called a virtual private server. And basically it's something that allows you to log in and use the tool from a different computer that works on Windows. Now, right now, let's just hear in the chat, how many have a Mac? Give me a 1. And how many have a Windows? Give me a 2. Okay, lots of ones. Okay, so it looks like it's about split. So I think maybe it might be a good idea to talk about setting up a virtual private server. I don't know. I mean, because I think a lot of people, if they're on Mac, they're not going to be able to run this, Ryan.
Yeah, so we have here, let me show you. I have this is my desktop that you see right now. I'm just on a laptop. It's a Windows laptop, and this is local. Now I have a server, which I can bring in here. It's another window, and you can see GSA is running on it too as we go in here, but I'm actually connected to this IP address here, which is, I think, in Texas. I'm in Michigan, and Chase is out in Arizona, right? So it's a server, right? So it's another Windows machine. You can think about it as just like your desktop. They have Mac servers, Mac VPS as well, but we're not doing that. But all it is just like, if I were to take a laptop or desktop and I were to go stick it at my parents' house, right? My parents live in Indiana. I could put it there, and then I could remotely connect into it and control it. And when you remotely connect into it and control it, you see it just like you're in front of it, and it looks just like the same thing you have right now. So if I bring this down and minimize this, we can see that it is just a regular desktop. I can see the screen, and because I'm only showing part of my screen because I'm on a huge monitor and it would look really small if any of you are running it on a phone, I have scroll bars here, but normally you would see it full screen. So you have icons on a desktop just like normal, and you have a start menu and everything. It's literally just like a Windows desktop. So for the people who are using Windows, you're already good to go. You can, I guess you're already good to go anyways, but you can also use a server for dedicated resources. So if you're running like a $200 laptop, because all you normally do is send emails and, do whatever, then it might not be powerful enough, especially with memory, to utilize this. So even if you're on Windows, you could use this. And let me slow down there. This is just another computer. It is running Windows, and you can connect to it. On Windows itself, you're going to use what's called the protocol is called RDP, or Remote Desktop Connection. That's what RDP stands for. And that's a Windows protocol, I believe, but without getting technical, Mac can connect to it too. So there's programs on Mac that you get an RDP software, and you just punch in this IP address, you go to a place and buy it, which we have already linked in the replay sheet. So in the replay sheet, which I'm not sure.
Let's actually show everybody what that looks like.
Yeah, let me find that. And in the replay sheet, there is, here, pull this in here. So here's the replay sheet, right? So there's nothing in here right now because it's obviously still being built. Lesson 1 will be right here. And so as we go down here, we have tabs. And so here is actually a list of all of the things that you're going to need and links to them. And then assignments will go in here. So we'll have, what you need to do to make sure that you're going along with us and you can get everything done. This is the homework section that you need to do. But in the class replays will be here. And in here is a list like we talked about. Haven't talked about Shine Ranker yet. We will. GSA website contact. That is the bot that we're using to make this run. I mentioned the capture breaker, the links there. Here's a link for the proxies. Here's a link for servers. So Solid SEO VPS or HostWinds both sell VPSs. So you have,
Ryan, I think because we're running a little bit long on time right now, because I don't want to keep everybody for too long. I think this first class, I think the homework assignment should be just getting them set up. So, making sure they have the sheet, making sure they make a post in the group saying that you're in, because I don't want to overwhelm everybody with, too much going on at once. I think next lesson, we should probably just specifically cover the VPS, because again, for us to cover the VPS right now, it's probably going to take another 30 to 40 minutes. Okay. So I don't know if that's okay with you, Ryan, or if it's okay with everybody, but I want to leave room for questions right now, and I don't want to go over on time.
Yeah, for sure. I'm in. I think questions are super important. And with that, I will make sure. So we'll make sure that you get the sheet. I'm not sure. Is that going to go through email then? Well, we'll make sure you get the sheet.
It'll go through email, but we can also paste it in the chat right now too, I believe. If Reina, you can leave that. Yeah, Reina just left it in there. And I do want to mention, by the way, everybody, again, make sure you join the group, the Facebook group. We'll leave that in the sheet as well. I'm going to put it in chat again. I guess the homework assignment for today, because we're going to meet again on Thursday, is join the group, make a post, just say, hey, I'm super excited, and go into the sheet and make sure you have everything. And if you ever need anything, by the way, as well, support@chasereiner.com. We have 24/7 support. We actually just introduced live chat support as well on chasereiner.com. So if you want to click on the little live chat symbol, it should be on there, Ryan. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, right there. It says we are here. Feel free to talk to us live as well, because we try to have the best support possible, make sure everybody's taken care of, even if you don't even buy from us. So, okay, let's open it up for questions. Does anybody feel free to unmute yours, or sorry, raise your hand, click on the raise hand button, or just say question or unmute, and we can unmute you if you want to ask the question via video. Also, feel free to ask the question through chat. Okay, we got Isaac. Can we unmute Isaac?
Isaac, can you raise your hand? Because there's a lot of people on here, and it just takes a minute to find you. It makes it simpler.
I think I'm unmuted.
Yep, we can hear you.
All right, yeah. So I already set up the private server. I was more so looking for, like, what are like those beginner things when you have GSA, as far as just getting it ready to like send out the first few messages or start downloading URLs if possible.
Yeah, okay. So I would say take just one step back before you send the messages. Before we send the messages, and that was actually, I don't know if you guys heard that, that was a Skype call that was blaring in there, because I'm going to shut this down here. From our leads are coming in. So I would have a plan and figure out your call to action, because the reason you got to figure out your call to action is if you're going to use a domain, if you're going to send them to a website, you need a domain. And when you register a domain, then it actually will. It keeps ringing. I don't know if you guys.
Well, at least they know it's working. I mean,
right.
Look, we were just sending the messages. You can see the leads coming in live.
Right. Yeah. It's because we were sending the messages.
Yeah.
Here.
And I know my call to action was going to be more so on phone calls, because it seems like it's the easiest way, or text messages to a 10-digit phone number.
Hey, Ryan, can you take off the screen share?
Yep.
Thank you.
I also have my my VPS set, running right now. If I could share my screen, I don't know if that helps.
Well, we're going to cover all this stuff. So this first class is really just to show you like what to expect in the program. Okay. So we're going to cover everything you need to do step by step. Like, you're not going to leave this without everything you need to do. But I would say, please be patient with us, because right now we're trying to get everybody up to speed. And I know there's some people that are way ahead of everybody else. Like, they're already on Ryan's level and they're like, hey, how do I do 10 million messages a day? If you're on that level, don't worry, we'll get there. But we need to make sure there's a lot of people that are newer, and we need to make sure that we're going at a step-by-step pace. So everybody who's beginner, we can take everybody from beginning to end.
Yeah. So, Isaac, I'm not sure. Did we answer the question then or not? Okay, I guess you're muted. I think you wanted to know about getting into like GSA settings and that sort of stuff. So if you wanted to take the next step and actually start sending some contact forms, I would consider legal compliance. You do kind of have to walk through that. We didn't really talk about that today, but it's typically not a big issue. But if you have a physical address, I would throw that in there and then just put down at the bottom of the message, hey, if you want to opt out, just reply to me and say opt out. And then you do want to honor people who say, hey, stop messaging me, because if you reuse those same lists over and over again, then you want that. But basically, you need to get some URLs to send to, right? So whatever your niche is, if you want to send to like everybody in Brazil, or if you want to send to all the barbers in New York, you need that. So you go into GSA, and in the keywords, which is the first tab in the project there, you're going to enter in all of your keywords that you're looking for. And once you have the keywords in there, just exit out and just start scraping a list of URLs. It's under start, and it's the first option. You can scrape up your list of URLs and have that running. And that way you're good to go. You can send to them too, but scraping them is the first step.
Okay, Tevin had his hand raised next, I believe. Let's unmute him.
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much. I have to say that I've followed quite a lot of gurus, and you often have bad surprises, but in the first 20 minutes, I already had so much value. So you definitely have like a new fan here. So what I wanted to also understand, I'm going to try to go as quick as possible, following like the homework. Now, from what Chase was mentioning, is that it's a good way is to get them to call you back or to send you like a text. So does that mean that we can already in a way start even if you don't send people to like a website, or would you recommend us to slow down and to because I'm ready now I'm ready now to already test and to get people calling or texting me, but I don't know if that would be the wise thing to do.
So I think you could start. I think your biggest thing is if you're just going to go ahead and start, make sure you have your proxies covered. So
Yeah,
you do need to have proxies in there. Once you have proxies covered, you go ahead and start. And whether you're going to utilize like Skype or your own phone, or there's a million phone systems out there, yeah, just start getting the leads, because the truth of the matter is that I can guide you through and Chase, and we can take you through step by step by step. But at the end of the day, you kind of have to get in the middle of it, even if it feels messy. So for some people, like, I don't know, Tevin, for you, you may be like totally ready to go and like way far out there, or maybe you're going to be like, I'm not really sure what the next step is, but you just have to get in the middle of it. You have to do it. So it's like, yeah. So I would just do it. And then you start getting the leads, even if you like, the goal isn't even to make a sale right now. The goal is to just get the leads and get your feet wet and just like go. So yeah, if you're ready to go, go. And then, come back and on, next class say, hey, listen, I did this. And so this is what happened. And, like, what's the next question? But yeah, just go and start engaging people, because that's how you're going to get through it.
The other question that I had was a little more technical, is that regarding emails, is there ways to use like burner emails? Is that are those things that you are also going to show us? Because obviously, if you are sending like a thousand of messages per day, and people have the opportunity to get back with like an email, that would make sense to have like burner emails. But I'm not techy at all.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely don't want to use your primary email that you use every day, because you're going to get auto replies. When you submit contact forms, they say back, hey, we got your message. We just want you to know someone will be in contact with you, blah, blah, blah. So you're going to get, if you send millions of messages, you're going to get tens of thousands of auto replies, right? I forget the percentage. It's like 1 point something percent, but have auto replies on average. But it's a lot, especially as you scale. So you don't want to use the primary email address. I love Gmail, because Gmail has super great features. It's free. And then you also can then, as you build, you can build a filter. So as you get common words, and yes, I'm going to go over this later, where you can say, hey, this is, they all say, thanks for your message, we'll get back to you soon. You take "we'll get back to you soon," you take that whole phrase, build a filter, and then you just auto filter that out. And you can actually then export those in Gmail and then import them into another Gmail account. So as you go along, or if you have different campaigns, you don't have to build all these filters over and over. You build them once, and then you just bring them over into all the other campaigns. But in Gmail's, basically just go to Gmail and register and get a free email address, and you're fine. It'll be perfect.
I wanted to say too, Aaron just commented, and Aaron's been with us for a long time, and he said, any question you have, I promise you and Chase and Ryan will answer and help you out, but it'll be over the course of the boot camp. So again, if you're confused and you're like, hey, are you going to cover this? Are you going to cover that? Trust us. We're going to be covering everything you want to know: burner emails, proxies, virtual private servers. Like, by the end of this, you're going to know how we're doing pretty much everything we do. But you got to be patient with us, because again, right now we're just starting out. But thanks for the comments, Tevin. I want to make sure there's room for everybody. Alan, you had your hand raised. Can we unmute Alan?
Hey, guys.
Oh, it was unmuted. There we go.
Okay, it's better now, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. So again, Chase, Ryan, thank you so much. Really looking forward to learning all of it. Ryan, you mentioned something I was about to do, so I do want to follow up. Selfgrowth.com. I'm saying this for everybody because I'll let you know by the end of next week if anything come out of it. So I just spent some money. Self-Growth is about to do a mailer to their 75,000 professionals list in chiropractors, acupuncturists, the people that I serve. And this is just to get opt-ins. And I was going to be giving away a free, free audit using ShineRank or other things. So you said, don't use your site. So I was going to be using my site, even though I'm not the one who's sending it. It's they're sending it. Should I still send them to kind of a squeeze page to get opt-ins? Is that what you would recommend?
So are you using a CRM to send this to like a list of people you already have, or is this like a cold list?
No, I'm not sending it. This is a warm list that's being sent by selfgrowth.com. This is their list of customers that they send emails to all the time. So this is not me doing it. This is somebody else doing it. I'm providing the email and I'm providing a offer and trying to get people onto my emailing list.
Okay. That would probably be so there's two aspects there. There's the functional and then the conversion. So on the functional side, it would probably be fine to send them to your website. When we're doing cold traffic, we want to make sure we use a redirect
Agreed.
because we don't want to get into like if you go at the level that I go at and I push the button as far as it'll go into sending millions at a time, you can get a domain blacklisted. And if it's a soft a domain registrar or a registry that doesn't like this sort of stuff, then I'll tell you which ones to use later, but then they can actually take the domain away and like you lose the domain. So you don't want to do that, right?
Right.
The redirect domain fixes that. But this is a warm list of people. So I don't think that it would be an issue to use your domain. Now, on the conversion side, something that I have seen for years with businesses, and I think that you just have to think it through, is that you want to direct people to take an action, right? Your goal, you said, is to get opt-ins, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so if your goal is to get opt-ins, then I would send them to a landing page that gives them one choice and one choice only. That is either opt-in or leave. And then you can even throw up, when they try to leave, throw up another splash page that says, hey, wait, you're going to lose out on millions of dollars, whatever, I don't know. Right. Yeah. So, because the problem is that I've seen just from my experience, and I've worked with a lot of clients, is that if you send them to your webpages are typically like a business card, kind of like what you have in your background, right? So it tells about everything. And if someone is ready to go, that can be useful. Like if I'm looking for your website, that's super helpful because I want all the information. I'm going to make the choice. All right, let's go with this. And I'm ready to go with Alan, right? But if I am not really aware of where I'm at, or I fall into like 99% of people, then I don't know what's going on here. And I'm going to get there. I'm going to be like, what is this? I don't need this. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. So like a landing page and so here's something that's a little hack for you. After lots of experiments, I have a friend who builds businesses to tens of millions of dollars. And we did stuff and he built some landing pages. Like, what are you doing? And he built this landing page and it had a title and an email opt-in form. That's it. Literally a title and an email opt-in form. A great title, because titles are like 90% of the lever that gets people to take action anyways. So your title's like, if anything ever is not working, always focus on the title. So take the title and then an email opt-in, and we sent conversions through the roof, like highest conversions. I still build landing pages. That's literally a white background with a black title and an email opt-in box. So you can do something like that, but you can also throw in videos are also awesome, lead magnets, all that jazz. But I just wouldn't give them, like I would send them to that. If you want opt-in, send them to a squeeze page. And then you can give them something and promise them something, but that's
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Okay, so we have time for like just a couple more questions. I know this is during the week, right? It's Tuesday. So first of all, I want to appreciate you all for being here. If you have to leave at any time, don't worry. We're going to have the replay. We're going to have multiple classes where you can participate, ask questions, tomorrow as well. I want to mention, so just so everybody knows, tomorrow we have a class at 5 p.m. Pacific with a guy named Cotton Grammer. He's going to be showing us how to sell and convert the leads that we're going to be getting. So again, if you want to join, great. If you don't want to join, no problem. And then we're going to be picking up this class again as well on Thursday at same time, right, Ryan?
correct.
Thursday. Yeah. So, and again, if you miss it and you want to ask questions later, I do want to show you guys really quickly just how to ask. Oh, I can't share my screen. Well, I guess we'll have to go into the Facebook group or comment on this video. We're going to post it as an unlisted video on YouTube. Either ask questions in the group or on the YouTube video itself as well. But we're going to do a couple more questions and then we're going to end it today so we don't keep it too long.
Does anybody else have a question? Raise their hand or we can look in chat. A lot of people are ready for the next one. what platform do we use for a landing page? Like, there's not a wrong answer there. Like, you can use anything from Lead Pages, which is like a third-party lead page site. You can use your own CRM. I personally use Kartra for a lot of stuff. I've used Infusionsoft, you've used Zoho, ConvertKit, MailChimp, all kinds of stuff. I have landing pages built on WordPress. It doesn't matter. It has no real impact as long as it's there. Go high level also, yeah. Will you have videos over the shoulder? So a lot of the class is kind of going to be over the shoulder as we get into more technical stuff, like the functional stuff. Yes, I'll be sharing the screen and it'll be kind of over the shoulder. White label SEO services to help. I mentioned one time that there's white label SEO services to help customize brick and mortar websites. Can we get the URL, please? Chase, you had mentioned that you had a company that did a really good job. I know of some, but I have not specifically.
We're going to talk about that. Can you give me screen share, Ryan, really quick, just because I want to end it just by showing everybody how to navigate this really quick?
Yeah, let me find you here.
But yeah, we're going to definitely be talking about, how to outsource. If you want to outsource, we're going to be going into affiliate as well. If you want to start selling like your own, either your own products or other people's products, if you don't even want to sell services. I know a lot of people want to do services so they can get some money coming in, selling the services, and then start building their own sort of like more passive income business as well at the same time. So I think the first thing we're covering right now, the reason why we're covering services is because I believe it's the easiest way to start earning money. If you have no income coming in online, once you start getting that income, then you can start focusing on, okay, I have some money coming in. How do I start building some passive income by building my own products or selling other people's products? So that is the goal for sure. This is the Facebook group. Can everybody see this? Give me a 1 in chat or yes if you guys can see this. I'm sorry to keep you guys so long. I just want to make sure you see this. So we're going to give you the link again. We're going to put it in the spreadsheet. Okay, everybody can see it. If you can, do me a huge favor. If you like the class today, just write something. Say, hey, I'm super excited. I'm happy to be here. Just click on the write something. And again, if you have a question, you don't want, you want it to be anonymous, because sometimes, people don't like other people knowing. Just click on here, post anonymously. You see that little slider right there? Post anonymously. Say, I want to post anonymously. Nobody will see who you are. You can say, hey, that thing we covered in the class, and again, if you don't care if people see who you are, then make it public, but ask us questions. Ryan's going to be in there. I'm going to be in there. There's a lot of people who aren't in the boot camp yet that I'd like to bring in. We're going to still keep this open for probably another week just to make sure people know there's replays, they can get in. And so we want you to get everybody excited with us. And so again, just say hi, say what's up. That's the first homework assignment. Second thing is, if you don't have the spreadsheet, you can always email us, support@chasereiner.com. We also dropped it in the chat. Reina, can you drop that one more time? And I think that's, I'll put it right here. Here is what it looks like. So we're going to have this class in here, right here, replay link. We're going to stop the recording in a second here. We're going to post it on YouTube as an unlisted video. You're going to have all of the classes in here. They're unlisted YouTube videos. All of the apps and everything that we're going to be talking about are in here. All of the assignments are in here. First assignment, again, it's just going to be post something in the group, say hi, and make sure you have the class schedule. And we'll be seeing you on Wednesday. And so again, if we missed anything, if we missed your questions, again, post in the group or just join us on our next class. But I'm going to end it here, Ryan, just because I don't want it to drag on too long. There's a lot of people that have, to get back to what they're doing.
Sounds good.
So thank you guys for being here.
Thank you very much, guys and ladies.
We'll see you on the next one, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard tomorrow, if you guys want to be there.